Hello everybody, um, welcome to my channel. And hari ni, since I've just finished my foundation studies, now I'm gonna talk about how you as a person can excel in your foundation studies or in your course or in a university after SPM result. Okay, so Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Sheikh Aiman. I am a law graduate from foundation studies. So I don't have a law degree yet, but I just finished my foundation, and Alhamdulillah, I scored a 3.8 in my overall SEM 1 and SEM 2.
Nice.
In my SEM 1 I got 3.75, and in overall I got 3.8 for SEM 1 and SEM 2. And today I'm gonna talk about how you as a person boleh excel, boleh become better. Sebab we all know that foundation or university life is different compared to SPM, compared to high school. Okay, so a little about me is that I just finished my foundation, which I said just now. I am taking the course in law. I just finished my foundation in UiTM Dengkil, and if you follow my journey, you'll know that I actually am not a gifted student or a natural born student. You'll know that I failed my SPM at maths. I failed my AdMat trial, and then I got an A- for my AdMats. So benda tu, it was a really climbing stone, a journey. And so I'm talking here from a position of improvement, position of how if you tak pandai masa your high school, tak semestinya you tak akan pandai selama-lamanya. Okay, so let's start. You can follow this lah in your foundation, in your university life, but I'll be more specified in law lah, since I've been doing it and it's more practical to me. And siapa yang ambil law in UiTM Dengkil or ambil law boleh apply this lah. I don't know if it's in degree pun you boleh apply, but I've done this in foundation, and Alhamdulillah it has worked for me. Okay, so number one, you need to have a good overall core foundation of knowledge regarding that subject. Okay, so in my foundation studies, I take law kan. And why do I take law? I take law because it's my passion. I like talking about it, and I have the skills. I think I have the skills, the needs to be a good lawyer. And because dulu during my foundation, during my SPM journey too, I was so in depth with the law. I was so involved in politics. I don't want to say politics as a general, but politics has a subsection or overlapping with the law, right? So when you know about the law, you know about when you know about politics, you kind of know about the law. So I kind of have an overall view of the law. I know how does the parliament work in Malaysia, how does the ni work. That's all. Itu semua berkaitan kan inside my syllabus kan. Alhamdulillah dia ada kaitan with my syllabus, and kalau tak ada kaitan pun, it will have an overall impact from how I view the law, macam mana pemahaman aku with the law. And we all know that macam for my subject, I need a lot of elaboration, I need a lot of points, you know. For like one soalan, it will give you like 20 marks. How do you elaborate? And you get those elaborations semua from books, from YouTube videos, and Aiman, okay, so you might ask, Aiman, how do you get a good overall base view information of your subject kan? One is, if you haven't gone into the subject yet, or you baru nak start, which is if you baru start your foundation, if you baru just start your foundation studies, you can just tengok in YouTube, how does the parliament work, how does Parliament Malaysia work, how does the judicial system works, get an overall view. Tak semestinya you have to go in depth semua, faham satu persatu. No, we don't expect you to be that, but at least have a decent amount of information for you to know what does ni. And then once your lecturer bagi tahu you selebih information, then you can kait that information with what you learn, with what you belajar sebelum ni, with your prior knowledge. So that becomes, so ni macam bayangkan these holes kan, holes semua yang ada, you connect those dots, because ni information yang you obtain from YouTube, ni information yang you obtain from your lecturer, dia bercantum, becoming an overall core foundation of your information. So firstly, I encourage you, before masuk kelas, if you have a syllabus or chapter yang you belum masuk, contoh like say for me law, okay, so I'll learn about the parliament system. I'll before the class, I'll go on YouTube, search about the parliamentary system, search about what's the foundation of the parliamentary system, how to make votes, how to legislate a law, semua. That's how you do it. So before you masuk kelas, before you learn about that chapter, you pergi masuk you on YouTube, belajar on that thing, or have an overall view. Because I know that macam for law subjects, crash course, I can give you the links lah. Crash course banyak kasih syllabus berkaitan the syllabus in Malaysia. Taklah syllabus in Malaysia, syllabus that I learn. So macam banyak kali before I masuk kelas, I will tengok on YouTube dulu, apa maksud ni, so that I can have an overall view, pandangan yang lebih mendalam lah, bukan setakat dalam buku teks je. And it helps me a lot actually. Nanti if you tak faham, you boleh straight tanya your lecturer. So macam you have an overall view, you punya pemahaman tu lain lah compared to other people, and your soalan lebih berkualiti. Number one, having an overall base or having a overall knowledge. And this coincides with prepping before class lah. Maksudnya, before your syllabus, before your chapter tu, belajar dulu. Okay, so at least nanti masuk kelas tak blank terus. So one, having an overall knowledge, prior knowledge. So slash with prepping before class lah, before entering into class. And secondly, how do you study? It differs to other people. Some people prefer smaller groups, but I prefer being alone. Sebab I think that when you alone, you have a lot more time to just think about, elaborate, and macam again, kalau ada soalan ke apa yang I tak faham, I will tengok on YouTube. Sebab my soalan is bukan maths, science ke apa. No, it's just the law, and if I tak faham, I can just go on YouTube kan. So it's easier for me. But if you as a person macam science subject, so semua biology semua, biology, if you tak faham ke apa, you can go to macam in groups kan. Ada yang my friends, ada yang law pun masuk in groups. Contoh for me, banyak my friend nak buat study group with me, so that I can explain to them, ni, and they will get that input from my YouTube videos, from my prior knowledge. So I will get the knowledge, and also they will get the knowledge. And it depends on people lah. And sometimes I will go into study groups, but not always lah. So if I lack motivation, I will go into study groups. That is number 2. Most important, number 3, I think it's important for you to do past papers. Past papers question are so important because past papers question and also format from the teachers. Because I think that firstly, it is important for you to know the format of the question, how to jawab, how to answer. This semua daripada lecturers lah. You have to pay attention in class. And also do past papers. Past papers are so important so that you know in depth what are they gonna ask. Faham tak? Okay, so if you don't know how to macam tengok past papers, I'll teach you a simple trick. If you macam banyak sangat syllabus, banyak sangat chapters, you go into that chapter macam banyak gila nak faham, nak hafal semua. Tak payah hafal semua benda. You can go into the past papers dulu, tengok apa yang dia tanya, and then refer balik to your buku teks, to your slides lah. Because I think that's more important. Sebab macam banyak benda dalam buku teks tu sometimes dia tak tanya pun, and it makes us overwhelmed. It makes us panic. It makes us to be macam macam banyak benda tak cover lagi, padahal sikit je tanya. So best for you, to go to past papers dulu, tengok apa yang dia tanya, and then baru refer to your buku teks. So macam ni apa yang dia tanya, and sometimes if you macam but I'll do extra lah, macam after yang dia cover tu I'll check for certain information yang dia belum tanya lagi, but I just cover up sikit-sikit lah. And a good tool that I sarankan you all do is that Albert Einstein pernah cakap macam one way for you to test your knowledge is by explaining it. If you can explain it to a 5-year-old, that means you faham benda tu. And I banyak apply benda tu, banyak apply that concept. Kan macam law kan banyak soalan yang macam you have to huraikan those soalan here and that. If you macam soalan macam kalau law kan, soalan law you have to huraikan what is the concept of the parliamentary system. You don't need to tulis pun sebenarnya untuk jimat masa. When you have those past papers tu, you explain and then you refer balik with the buku teks. Is it the same? And ada tak penambahan maklumat kat situ? And if ada, maksudnya 1 markah, 2 markah for the additional knowledge. Faham tak? So you don't need to macam kalau law student kena buat essay semua. Ya, essay tu dalam exams. But if you want to revise, one of my ways, I think the most powerful ways lah, jimat masa and also dapat cover banyak, is you tengok satu, after you tengok satu soalan tu, you faham apa yang dia nak, but you just macam buat points. That's the first way, you buat points. But ni lambat lah. Second way is either you tengok soalan tu, after you faham semua lah, you tengok soalan tu and then you just explain you prior your knowledge. And if you tergagap-gagap, maksudnya you tak hafal lagi, maksudnya you tak faham lagi benda tu. Faham tak? So macam I'll refer back. And then after the second day tu, and then kalau banyak kali tau macam tu, tak ingat, you refer lah balik. So it's important. Past papers are so important. Dan dekat exam tu, ataupun tak payah dan dekat exam, after chapter habis, you tengok past paper tentang that information, tentang that chapter lah. And then tak payah tulis ke apa. If you're too lazy, tak payah tulis, just explain. You know, sebab betul, dulu aku biology aku tak pernah macam tu, but if you explain and semua point tu tepat, one, you can recall. That's active recall. You recall benda tu, and once you explain, you can put it into words better. Faham tak? So one of the most powerful study tip that I can give you is active recall. You can search it up for even more. Active recall, basically you can tanya macam sama konsep, you tanya your friend soalan and then dia jawab. So that's active recall. You use past papers tu. Okay, what is the concept of the parliamentary system? The concept of the parliamentary system is ni first point. Identify the first point. Ni second point. If you start at second point je, benda tu 10 marks, then you have a problem. Then you see the problem there, and then you revise balik. That's how you see it. Okay, so that's all from me. Thank you.